Welcome back to Hot Takes and Deep Dives. And first of all, I'm here with Countess Luann de Lesseps.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, darling. How are you?
I'm great. And we're also joined by my friend Roger Dawley, who is the man behind the woman.
Behind the social media, at least. And everything else.
I mean,
Well, let's not get crazy because you're my twink.
Roger, you have been called out completely revitalizing Luann's social media presence. Who is that influencer who is like, I see you?
Girl with no job.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Gibson something.
Gibson Johns.
Gibson Johns. It was surprising to me, though, because I feel like I took this and I was like, okay, I'll never be front-facing again. Like, no one ever needs to know that there's anyone else involved in this.
Right, but you're kind of loving it.
Well, listen, I don't know. I'll take what I can get. I love it.
Now, there's one man who unites the three of us. And that is the one and only, my great friend, Ben Rimmelauer.
Yes.
Who was the first director of your cabaret show.
That's right.
And how did you first meet Ben?
Ben and I met in like 2015 or 16. I was like 18 or 2015 or whatever. I just moved to the city and I would do backup vocals at 54 Below like 3 times a week. I was doing it a lot. And he was hosting a Christopher Guest concert. We were just doing backups on something. And that was how I met him. And then he invited me to Patty Issues. And then maybe 2 years later or something that you were down a set of hands.
Well, I started cabaret in 2018.
Yeah.
So,
but then not that long after that, you were down a set of hands or something. And he just called me or texted me one day and was like, what are you doing in an hour? Or what are you doing later today? And I was like, but I was not that familiar with you, in all honesty. I knew peripherally who you were, just like in gay culture, honestly. But I was not.
my boys.
Yeah.
Well, you
my
weren't
boys.
a Housewives fan, really.
Not at all. Not at all. I had never seen an episode of the show. We had filmed an episode of the show or something before I had seen an episode of the show. So then when COVID hit, I finally watched all of it.
But Ben, you know, how I met Ben was I have a friend who I've known for 30 years from LA. And he said to me, Lou, you love to host parties, you love to tell jokes, and you love to sing for your friends. You should be doing cabaret. And I was like, really? Oh, okay. And then I married Tom and got sidetracked. But anyway, so Ben was a really good friend of this friend of mine. And he introduced us. And Ben knew everything about the Housewives. Ben, he's a super fan.
Do you know that Ben, a former day job of his, was he used to like sound engineer or produce audiobooks? He produced Teresa's audiobook.
Yes.
And Bethenny's.
Yeah.
Right. He should be doing my audiobook.
Yeah.
Do you have a book?
I do. Class with the Countess, How to Live with Elegance
you
and
had-
Flair.
well, you-
and savoir-faire.
I thought like a
and
new
savoir-faire. Don't forget savoir-faire, which is one of my favorite words.
Did you never do an audio?
Savoir-faire.
Did you ever do an
No.
Why?
Oh, you should do that.
I know, because, you know, everybody loves my voice. You know, I'll be in the airport, people are like, oh my God, I recognize you by your voice. They saw me, but they didn't know from the back. And I was speaking, and they would come up to me and go, oh my God, I recognize you by your voice. So I should totally do an audiobook and add an extra chapter, which is about dating.
First of all, this week, speaking of Ben and us and like on our connection, you are kind of fresh off of a ferry back home from Fire Island. Now, I don't know if Roger mentioned this to you, but like I'm a big Fire Island person. I actually created a docu-series on the history of Fire
You have
Island.
to listen to
Oh,
that.
I want to
If
see
you're
that.
into, but Ben is in it, and a lot of like the
fantastic.
people who've been there from like the 50s and the 60s, like the old gays, like
Yeah.
you
The
might
queens.
you might really be into it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. It's all the history.
No, I was just there, so I love it. There was a picture of a fabulous queen in the room that I was in, and he was like this. He had leaves covering his, and then he had his hand like this, and you could see through his hand. He was just like so naughty. It was so good.
We were telling
but
her
it must
about-
have been from the 70s. I would say. Yeah.
There's a deep and rich history. We were telling about the Crisco, and we were running her through everything.
Yeah.
I know the Crisco that's nailed to the tree. I'm like, they should put hand sanitizer nailed next to it.
So I know that you've been in the Pines and Cherry Grove.
Yes.
Where did you stay?
Well, we stayed in a private kind of little hotel in the Pines, right? So it's kind of a bed and breakfast kind of situation.
Where?
The Madison.
That's where I always stay.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
And you know what? Little fun fact.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the movie Fire Island with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang.
I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, for listeners.
They all stayed there.
Yes.
Right?
Did I tell you that?
No, he was telling us the American Horror Story cast when they came stayed there. Fire Island movie came and stayed there.
Margaret Cho stayed in, I don't know if you were in one of the outside cabanas. That's the room that Margaret Cho stayed in.
I stayed upstairs in the penthouse kind of situation.
I've stayed in that room, baby.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
So, but the photograph I was talking about was actually in, not the Pines, but in Cherry Grove.
In the Grove Hotel.
And we were at the Grove
So Daniel
Hotel.
put us up there, which was
You
lovely.
stayed at the Grove Hotel.
Yeah. Epic.
On Friday night while the underwear
The
party
drag
is happening.
pageant. Oh, girl.
Well, yeah, you were there because
I was one of the judges and
for the Miss Fire Island.
Miss Fire Island.
yes.
No, do you know that this has been going on
Yeah.
for decades?
I met the first one, Georgia.
Rita George.
We met-
Rita George was
Yeah.
a judge, and she was what, Miss Fire Island, like 1959 or something.
loved
insane.
her.
Pansy, who started the invasion. He was Miss Fire Island in like 1970.
Oh my god.
Something like that.
No, we were with Peppermint and Sasha Colby.
and Detox.
Detox and oh my god, the queen. I mean, they really pulled it out. They really go all out, and they're so fabulous. They're so talented.
Yeah.
I mean, there were cartwheels going on that very thin runway.
Mm-hmm.
On the
cartwheel
pool.
splits. I was like, whoa. Yeah,
I saw the footage of you walking across the pool.
I had a great time. I really.
What is your-
I said, next to having children and getting married, this is the highlight of my life. I swear to God. I was living my. I was like, go green.
It was so fun.
What's your take on the Pines versus Cherry Grove?
You know, Cherry Grove is much more villagey, right? It's like there's an actual like community. I feel like the Pines there's one place to go. This is the canteen, right? And you have the club upstairs, which I had an appearance with Mark.
Yes, Mark McNamara.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love Mark.
You know he's a porn director.
I know.
I did not know that. when we
I
were going into
kind of
that
did not
gig.
realize that either. But
Yeah.
you know what? A lot of money in porn.
He's the nicest guy.
He is. He's
the nicest
great.
guy.
And we had a great time with him too. I mean, I love being out there because it's so free. People are on foot. There's no cars, no honking. And people are free to be who they want to be, you know? And that's a beautiful thing to watch. I love that. I love freedom like that.
So you slept at the Grove Hotel.
On
Yes.
Friday night too. Like I can't.
Wait, did you
emphasize that enough.
step foot into the underwear party at all?
No, but I watched them come and go from the door. Because we thought, if we go into the underwear party, I got to take a lot of pics, right? Not that I don't love.
No, because I
like,
believe they lock up their phones.
Dude,
Oh, they
a lot of
do?
people
Yeah,
put them
because
in the
it's
bags.
basically a sex party.
Well, I wanted to go,
She wanted to go so badly.
and nobody wanted to go. So
And
I
we
was
had
like,
a long day the next day. I was
Yeah.
like, listen, if we go, we're gonna go.
So
and
what we did was we stood outside and watched people coming and going. That was another fashion show that I'm so glad I didn't miss because it was so great. The thongs and I loved it.
What's a sticky situation you found yourself in that you never could have imagined when taking this gig?
Sticky situation. I mean, I have to be the bad
Forgetting
guy.
my Chanel spray.
Yeah, forgetting things here and there. I'll
Your
say
Chanel
that.
what?
Spray all over body spray, my favorite thing.
Yes, but yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere and we need
I don't
hose
know.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
We've had
I'm trying to
hose,
think.
pantyhose situations.
Yeah.
Had you been vaping before you met Roger? Or is this Roger's influence?
Excuse me?
Is this you?
No.
No, definitely
No,
not.
I
Okay.
people know I like to smoke. So, but obviously you can't smoke indoors. So when I can't smoke indoors, I have a little vape. I'm not one of those people like pacifier vape.
Yeah.
Because I do like to smoke my American spirits, and I don't smoke a lot, but I like to enjoy my cigarettes. So when I can't have a cigarette, then I'll go to a little bit to my little vape. I mean, I know it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but life is short.
Can
right?
I tell you something? There's nothing more sexy on camera than somebody smoking a cig.
Right.
Carrie Bradshaw, one of our most iconic smokers,
That's right.
if not the most.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah. So, I live my life the way I want to live my life. And people, either you love me or you don't. That's how I feel about it. And I don't really care anymore. I used to care a lot. And now I don't care. That's changed for me. Now I do what I want.
What was the moment? Like, what changed? Or just as a matter of
Probably
just like
when after
maturing?
I went to Joe Dispenza, where I was part of the quantum universe.
What?
Right? You know who Joe Dispenza is?
No.
Well, he's a man who has healed himself through the power of your own energy.
Okay.
So it's about energy. It's about meditation. It's a little hypnotic. We
Where is
meditate
this?
for 7 hours a day until you're completely out of who you are as a person, where you go. So my manifestation was love, and loving myself so much that nobody could hurt me. So it's changed for me. It's incredible. I mean, I can't recommend it enough.
Where did you go to do
You
this?
go to retreats, and believe me, if you don't sign up in 2 minutes, you're out.
Where was this retreat?
This one in particular was in Florida, but he goes all over the world.
This happening in Florida.
Yeah, huge following, and he does this every single week or every other week. He does, and I went with a girlfriend, and I experienced the quantum, where I actually where I was floating in the interstitials, where there's no thought, there's just love. Mind blown.
What year was this?
This was months ago.
Yeah, recent.
Oh, a few months ago.
I do a lot of spiritual work on myself. I'm a big, Deepak Chopra was my first.
Yesterday, big New York Times spread that Andy Cohen is selling his West Village apartment. Did you see this?
I did not. I was too busy packing for.
And what's
my
his
show.
name?
Ryan Serhant is selling his apartment. Outdoor space is the one thing that has eluded him this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't live without outdoor space. I like to have outdoor space. I like to be able to walk outside. For me, so important.
Have you ever been inside his apartment?
I have not.
Wow.
No, I've never been to Andy's apartment. So, we have a very professional relationship. He's been to my house, for example. When the
In the Hamptons?
Yeah, sure. When he first had Ben, he came by with Ben. Lucia and I met when we did Watch What Happens Live 15th anniversary, which is a crazy night in itself. Sonja Rita. But,
Yeah, okay, wait. Speaking of that, what was going? I mean, was she just wasted?
was having a party.
How is she doing?
I haven't seen her since then.
I mean, I ran into her. I was coming from Sag Harbor on the jitney, and who's in line? Who I hear behind me? Someone, and I was like, "Who's that woman behind me?" And it's Sonja.
She's good. She sold her townhouse finally.
So does she have a place in the city?
I'm not sure. We saw her coming out from the Hamptons.
Yeah, I ran into her. I ran into
what
Ramona
you
today.
didn't call me? You're in the
You
Hamptons?
ran into Ramona today?
I said it's happened like 3 different times.
Yeah,
I'll
we're on
go
the
out and
Upper
run
East Side.
something. We're in their neighborhood. Yeah, it makes sense. But I'm
Yeah,
always
Ramona
like,
lives
what the
very
hell?
close to
They're always.
And
all
you
over
can
the
tell
place.
her gait walking down the street. She's
Yes.
always got her cell phone. She's like,
Yeah. She looks fantastic.
She looks
that was
great.
my thought today. She looks great.
and Sonya's fine. I think, that she's had her share of, problems going on. And now that she sold the house, that's good. And so she's moving on, which is great. And she has her shows
Yeah.
too. Have you seen her show?
No, actually, I was asked to host it,
Oh,
and I declined.
why?
It was like the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I need to like meet with her, and like I clearly, like I'm professional, and so
Right.
like I had like a list of like I couldn't just be like caught up there, like
Well, of
out,
course
out
you're a
of
professional.
out
Yeah.
of control. I
Right.
didn't want to feel completely out of my element,
Mm-hmm.
and the booker at City Winery was like, "Yeah, you're not going to have any of that. It would be way too anxiety provoking for me. I'm like, why do I need that?"
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
No.
Yeah, you're way too buff for that. Look at her arms.
Right? Fitness queen.
God.
Fitness queen.
No,
Okay,
seriously, look at her. I'm like,
Okay, wait.
I gotta get my shit together.
Wait, first, I wanted to talk to you about this because you've really transformed the way you look over the past 15, 20, however long it's been since
Right.
the public has first met you.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember you in some interview mentioning that you do intermittent fasting.
Yes,
Or did you at one point? Or
I
do you
did.
still-
I
do
do.
you still-
I kind of still do. I eat late in the morning, and early dinner. It's better not to eat after 5 or 6 in the evening. I'm into yoga,
Do you- yeah,
meditation. I'm a nurse. Don't forget, also. So
How could I forget?
So I have a special interest in that, and everything, vitamins and, health. And
Aside from yoga, like, do you go to the gym? Like, what's your other?
I do.
workout?
Well, I have a gym in my apartment, but I'm in the Hamptons, so I run and do things outside, but I have a boat, so I'm on my boat a lot. I play tennis. I do a lot of
Great.
different things. Yeah.
Speaking of tennis, I don't know why tennis. I equate Jill's out. Oh,
Well, we
yes.
played on the
Yeah.
show many times
Yes.
with Ramona and the tennis pro. Don't
Did you
forget.
did you see that Allie got engaged.
I know. Oh my gosh, I have to send flowers too, Allie.
Yeah.
We've got to do that.
Yeah.
Because I missed the party in the Hamptons. 'Cause
Roger.
I was gonna ask
I was
you about
kidnapped on a yacht.
Oh God,
Yeah.
sounds so terrible.
No, I couldn't get back. I said I have to party to go, but we were at Sunset Beach, so I
Yeah.
couldn't get back in time. Anyway, I am so happy for Allie. She's wonderful. I've seen her grow up. I'm like her second mother. Really, I do feel that way. She's adorable and gorgeous. So I'm so happy for her. And I like the boyfriend, and I love Jill, the family. You know, the parents are still, still ticking. I love them. They're, my mother's 95 now. Listen.
Oh my gosh.
And not only am I a nurse, I was a geriatric nurse, which I love. I love the elderly.
I didn't know you were a geriatric
Yeah,
nurse.
I was a geriatric nurse.
That is hard fucking work.
Right.
Oh, but so sweet.
Wow.
The forgotten generation of the elderly. Yeah, they're not
Do they
young.
call-
They're
do
not
they-
young and pretty anymore.
Do they call that the greatest generation? Like Gen X, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the cusp of Gen X.
You're right. The greatest generation. is one of
The
them.
greatest generation
Yeah.
are the
The elders.
That generation.
The elders.
Yeah.
They have so much knowledge. And what do we think? We're reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to Beatrice. Oh my God, I get a great story about
This is
Beatrice.
a story.
So I go to so I started doing dishes in a rest home. That's how I fell in love with the elderly. My mom used to come and pick me up because I wasn't driving. I was 15. Then I was a nurse's aide, and then I was like, I want to be a nurse. And so I went to nursing school. And one day I'm back in the rest home where I did dishes, and Beatrice has been there, 10 years at least, right? So I go back. And I'm pushing my pill cart down the hall, and Beatrice always wanted to know about my dates. Did he kiss you? How was your date last night, Lou? Do you like him? You know what I mean? She's living vicariously through me, I think. So I'm pushing my pill cart down the hall one day, and Beatrice's door is a little cracked open. I hear, I go, Beatrice is dying. So I go to the door, and it's the maintenance man going down on her, and she's 85. I'm like, go, Beatrice.
How old was the maintenance man?
75. So, yeah, he was like, anyway, so what I did? I closed the door and I kept on walking.
I don't think that story's anywhere else. That's the hot take in the deep dive.
Because
right
guess
there.
what? How old are you if you don't know how old you are? How old would you think you are? You don't have a mirror. You don't know how old you are. How old are you? Beatrice was still living in her 20s, darling. Because it's
I love that.
the child spirit. My own mother, who's 95, Mommy, how old do you feel? She said, I feel like I'm 30. I feel young.
How old do you feel?
Young. I mean, how old do I feel? I would say late 20s, early 30s. Living my best life at that point in Europe.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
And you live on the Upper East?
I mean, I'm dating.
Yeah.
I'm
You live on the Upper East?
Upper East.
Upper East.
And then the Hamptons.
Where do you, of course, where do you go
Of course.
today
Yeah.
are your favorite going out spots?
Listen, what is it, the 7? Or the 9s? I like the 9. I like Indochine.
Right.
I like Avra. I like Bella Blue, which is around the corner for me, the best Italian food in New York. I love it.
So good.
And I chill a lot at home too, because I'm working a lot, whatever. But
What's your favorite piano bar in the city?
well, one of them is Il Campagnolo, which is on 74th and 2nd, I think. And it's just a little piano player playing, old Italian style. A lot of I go there with Dorinda a lot. With me and Dee go there. It's a kind of an NBC hangout. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
We were just talking about Russian samovar the other day.
Oh, my God.
My
Yeah.
boyfriend
Been
has
there?
never been.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a time! It's been a while.
Piano player.
We
Oh
gotta
yeah.
go back
And then there's
there.
Duplex.
The duplex.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
I love the Monster.
I've been.
I haven't
once.
been to the Monster.
Oh, it's
and-
right across the street from the
From the
duplex.
duplex. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's
we
why
have
the
to-
Monster
gay
is
bars.
great.
Oh, tell me. I'm always looking
It's
for
a
new places.
It's a big, nice bar, and then the piano is like in the back, and there's always somebody singing. But it's like civilized. You can have a conversation, like the duplex.
So somebody singing who's a rando or somebody who's
no, like somebody who works there.
who's working
Like a
okay.
Brian Nash, like a.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I'm sure if you want to like sing something, like anybody can like get up there.
But then
Right.
downstairs is like a disco.
Well, my director's like Richard J. Alexander directs my cabaret now. And he's like, you're not giving it away for free. You're touring cabaret artists. You don't go to piano bars. Although I've been known to rip a song or two at a piano bar. That's for sure.
Famously so.
At the townhouse.
Oh, shit. We won't mention that.
Let's not mention it. You said one of the funniest things. You said a quiet part out loud, which is a thought I have had for 10 years.
I'm so curious.
So, okay, yes, you had this run-in with Bethenny, fine.
Yeah.
And you were doing some interview.
Yeah.
And you kind of mumbled, kid looks exactly like Jason Humphrey. Doesn't look a thing like Bethenny.
Looks just like the father. Nothing
that's
like
true.
Bethenny.
Now, I have
Yes,
thought
that's true.
this. I feel like nobody we pretend this isn't reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
When this is the most obvious thing. I know it's not a bad thing, but it's odd.
Girls always look like their fathers, and usually boys look like their moms.
But you would never think these two people are related.
I know. But it's okay.
Oh, well, it has to be.
Well, I guess it has to be, because I don't know if I'd want to look at Jason Hoppy's face all day.
She has to.
Especially for her. But she's a cute Bryn. I just met her after many years. I haven't seen her. You know, she's a lovely young lady, a beautiful girl. And yeah, it was a run-in. I was very happy to see. I was happy to see Bethenny again. I haven't seen her in years, literally. And she was happy to see me. And then she conceded. She goes, "Well, I guess life is a cabaret, isn't it?" And I go, "Yes, it is." Bryn's a fan. Would take a picture? So I took a picture. And then Emma Roberts came over. She's a fan. She made eggs a la française on her social media for me. So she comes over to say hello, and of course Bethenny grabs her and brings her into the picture. And I'm like, "Send me the pictures." I never got them. I'm blocked on social media also, right? I'm like, wait a second, not so fast on this reunited, and it feels so good. Not so fast. Not so fast. So I don't get the pictures until she posts first, of course, and tells this whole story on TikTok the day after, how we're reunited and fabulous. And I'm like, wait a second. I mean, you didn't even send me the pictures. I'm blocked on social media. I felt used and abused. And then she got Bryn to come over to me, and that was the bridge that led her to me. You know what I mean? So it was like, I felt kind of, this is not true.
Well, what she doesn't realize is that if you had done a collab post, you would have doubled the likes.
Twice the likes.
Yeah.
So I'm running her social media. I'm in the Poconos.
Right.
It's 4th of July weekend, and I haven't heard from you that day for whatever reason, because we're busy. It's the holiday. And I'm seeing online, or people start sending me, oh my God, did you see this? I immediately called you and was like, what the hell is going on? Like, we have to move fast. Because she's going to move faster. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
and
that's
of
the
course
point.
she
That's
did.
why I never got the picture.
Of course she did. But
that's okay. Listen,
all fun and
that's
games.
okay. Listen, I only wish her the best. Really, I do. I have no ill will or harm for people. I never did. That's not my game.
If you were working for Bethenny instead of Luann,
he'd be dead already.
This is your reality.
He'd be dead.
What advice would you give her? She's
Well, the
responsible-
seafood scene. I mean, the seafood.
I will say part of the brilliance is that it seems like, I don't think she is, but it seems like, looking at her accounts, that she does it all. Like, that she is posting 10 things a day, and like,
Except she's got 3 cameras on her,
at
edit all
all
together.
times. That's
So,
what I mean.
no.
She can't. I know it's very clear that it's not all her, but she definitely sends it to someone else to kind of throw together. But again, try to look at everything and
Can
talk
we stop
about
talking
it.
about Bethenny? Please?
Life is a Cabaret obviously is from the film and the Broadway play Cabaret. Are you like a Liza fan?
Always.
Who is it?
Love Liza. You know, I grew up, I loved Cheetah and Liza. And I think I saw Cheetah for the last time at 54 Below, her last show she did.
Yeah.
Before she passed away.
Cheetah went to the underwear party. I found out this weekend. Cheetah Rivera.
She did a gig on.
Her last gig ever was, I think, the
Oh,
Ice
oh,
Palace,
oh,
and she
I
went to
see.
the underwear party.
Oh, she did?
Isn't that hilarious?
I
Yeah.
love it.
I love
it.
that.
And you know who I love too is Bridget Everett.
Yes.
Who's doing a very naughty cabaret, but I love her. She was on the show at my first cabaret.
I was there.
She motorboated Sonja.
I was saying, you were at the inaugural show,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Murray
Yeah.
Hill was in my show. I mean, I've had Lance Bass in my show. Rachel
Rachel
Dratch.
Dratch.
Yes.
Dratch.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So I love cabaret. I love, I grew up on Carol Burnett. I love variety. It started as Countess and Friends, didn't it? So it was
Yeah.
more like variety. And then it kind of morphed into cabaret, because I would realize that when I had guests, no matter who they were, it didn't matter. I mean, people would, get on their phones, go to the bathroom, they were there for me, right? So my director's like, it's now Countess Cabaret. It is no longer, which is, Richard J., the diva whisperer,
The thing I say is that was like training wheels, and this is like a Harley. right now, what you're
Right.
doing
Yeah.
act-wise and stuff. Before, Countess and Friends, we'll take a break. We'll do the changes. Reading from my diary. This is like a stage show proper, I think.
And
It's
you're
next level.
performing all over the U.S. in the coming months. You're
Yeah.
playing New York City, out on Long Island.
Yeah, I'm playing Sony Hall this time around in New
You're going to
York.
be playing in Tennessee, Nashville, Austin.
Yeah.
Charleston, New Jersey, Huntington, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Beverly, Mass, Peekskill, Atlanta, Nashville, Chattanooga.
A huge theater here in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sony Hall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sony Hall is good. But I'm excited also to go back to Europe. You know, I really love the European touring because, you know, listen, I lived in New York for 12 years, right? You know, I spent my young adult life in Milan and then in Switzerland and France. So, you know, to be able to go and you know, of course, hopped over to London a lot from, you know, as it's so easy. That's what I love about Europe. You go from one country to another, speaking a different language, eating different food. So to be able to go back and have a career in Europe for me is huge. So Richard J was just in a hotel in London and he turned on the TV and the Housewives is playing over in London right now.
It's huge. I don't think we really understood before we went over there how huge that is right now because they just got it,
Right.
3-4 years ago.
Right.
So it's
and
on
during
this
COVID,
high.
so people were home.
Yeah. It's
So,
crazy.
so you have a gig in the spring in London?
No, in February actually.
Oh, in February.
February.
So just London or other
We're
cities?
doing Edinburgh in Scotland.
We're going to be all
Amazing.
over. It's not
Yeah.
out there yet, but it's people know. We're going to be all over.
Yeah, Manchester again. I'm playing Manchester. Different.
Oh, she's playing a West End
I'm playing a
theater.
West End theater. Yeah.
That's a huge deal. It's the equivalent of Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah, those tickets
crazy.
aren't in sale yet, but they're coming soon. But you know, I'm focusing on the, you know, I'm playing Jersey and you know all the places. I've been Paramount again,
Tampa.
Long Island. I'm doing the Paramount, which don't you love the Paramount?
Oh, it's great.
I love
Yeah.
that theater.
Yeah. What is your day-to-day like?
It's completely different every day, which I think is the whole appeal of it for me. Because if it was the same cookie cutter thing every day, it would be very boring. But it depends on the schedule. So some days we're on the road. That's pretty easy, in my opinion, in terms of we know exactly what we're doing at this point. With
I travel with 6 boys.
Yeah.
and I love it because I have 4 older brothers, so I love boys.
Oh, yes.
so
Yeah.
3 are gay and 3 are straight. It's the Brady Bunch.
Lawrence Henderson up in
It's
here.
the Brady Bunch.
That makes me like
We
Peter
have
Brady.
the
then.
best time. And you know, you're a tour bus, and we're playing all our favorite music. So, and we're all musicians and singers. And I've got my bass player and my drums and my.
Do you go out after the show or do you?
We do. We'll go and have a quick bite and a drink, go to bed.
Yeah.
because we have another date the next day. So.
Yeah, the next morning
So you
we gotta
travel
go.
by bus.
Well, no, we fly usually,
Depends.
but when we have locations like we're playing Montclair, New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean Beverly, Mass is like 4 or 5
Yeah.
hours. I was like, let's just get in the Sprinter. 'cause
Yeah,
then
by
we
the
don't have
time
to
you get to the
deal
airport
with,
and the
yeah.
bags and things, so we
All the
decided we're going to take a
hoopla.
sprinter to Boston
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not snowing yet.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
was snowing, we would be flying.
Now, when we were chatting before we got on mic, you're about to leave to shoot this sort of bachelorette-esque show, and so it's you and a bunch of housewives like Ashley Darby, Shannon Bedore.
Yeah,
And how long will you be away?
and Giselle.
Giselle Bryant.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks. And where are you gonna be physically?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know if that's out there.
I don't think so.
I was gonna say
Location
Is
Yeah.
it like an island?
Yes.
Definitely tropical.
A warm
Oh
tropical.
well,
Definitely
yeah, trouble,
tropical.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so, what do you have to do to prepare for that?
Well,
don't we?
let's think about all the looks. Where it's a dating show, right? So you need the morning look, the date look, the sporty look, right? Because you're probably doing some sort of sport, right? The cocktail attire.
The way you said that.
Cocktail attire, evening wear,
And that's one day.
That's one day.
multiply that
The
by like
swimwear.
30. Yeah.
Hanging around, the beach, and so jewelry. Me, I like my statement necklaces, hats, makeup, shoes. I mean, the list goes on.
The
You should have seen
packing
me
list
yesterday. I was a
was no
crazy
joke.
person yesterday.
No joke.
Now, God forbid, your luggage gets lost.
Stop.
Has that ever happened to you, like on one of these housewives trips?
Never.
And do you guys always check a bag?
Yes.
Have to.
I mean, many
much
bags.
How is it possible that not one time somebody's luggage didn't get lost?
Just the luck of the draw. People, it happens to people all the time.
Yeah.
But it's never happened. I don't think we've ever
I've
lost.
never
Did we
had
lose a guitar once, or we lost a band member? Or like
Not
something.
with me, but knock on wood, I've never had a bag lost. Just
Right.
in
Neither have
years
I.
of
I'm just like
traveling.
multiplying the odds of all the women across all the
happens.
shows,
I
across
know.
the frequency of the travel.
Right. It's
And also
it's
the-
actually a miracle.
And also the stakes. Like you're there to like film something.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
would need.
Yeah. Well, where we're going, you can shop. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You can get whatever you want.
What is the status with Crappy Lake? Would you want to do a season 2?
Oh, I would love to do season 2, but you know, Crappy Lake was very similar to The Simple Life, right? It's kind of Simple Life meets Schitt's Creek, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess who's filming The Simple Life again?
Paris Hilton.
Yeah. Did you see that? Danny Pellegrino
It's
is going
out
to be
there.
on it. It's out there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they
Well,
just
it's out
started
there.
filming.
Well, it's very similar to our show. So I think Paris and Nicole saw Crappy Lake and said, "Oh, wait a second, they're not running away with this show."
Really?
You're the first to hear it out of my lips, darling.
You really believe that?
I do.
because they are the same show.
It's similar.
More
Fish out
or
of
less.
water, darling.
Yeah.
And I caught
I know I saw it.
a fish with my bare hands. I don't know if, well, maybe
loved
Nicole would
Crappy
do
Lake.
it. I don't know about Paris, but I caught a catfish in my bare hands. You see those things?
Yes.
Slimy. Bleh.
Yeah. So the last time I interviewed you, we would do it over Zoom, and so like I know it's like hard to.
Yeah.
And this was before they like split the shows, and there was going to be Legacy. And I remember saying to you, what the Housewives really needs is a lesbian housewife. And then all the news happens that they're not going to move forward with the original RHONY cast, and then Jenna Lyons steps in. And so I'm curious, did you know of Jenna Lyons just from
No.
New York?
No, never
Oh,
met her in
okay.
my life. No. I met her when she was cast, and then we had, I think it was the upfronts where I met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen
Yeah.
her. No, I don't
Have
know
you
her at all.
seen a frame of the new RHONY?
Oh, you mean from the very beginning when they first started?
No. The RHONY reboot with Jenna Lyons.
No, I know. Yes,
Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, totally. Of course, I was curious.
What did you think?
Well, it was a
Genuinely.
fight over a cheese platter, so you can imagine what I thought.
I tried to watch it too, and I fell
Now,
off.
not to say these girls are not, have their own, lives and are not beautiful and interesting, etc. But it just feels like they don't know each other well. I mean, we knew each other. We knew where all the skeletons are buried. So it's like, don't mess with me, because you know what I mean. So it was much different. I mean, listen, times have changed.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just RHONY. It's I think across the board and in reality in general.
Yeah.
And look at Jersey. They're talking about doing the same thing. Or
What I don't know if you follow Jersey at all.
Teresa, I know, so I like to watch what she's up to because we did the Ultimate Girls Trip, the first one
Yes.
together. So I know Teresa, I know Melissa,
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret was in my music video for Mary F. Kill. I know that was a wild card.
But can you imagine a universe in which, suppose you were still on RHONY,
Yeah.
and imagine a universe in which, for whatever reason, although it goes way deeper on Jersey because these people are related, but imagine a reality in which Ramona and you or Sonja refused to film with each other.
No. There was no
Wouldn't that-
how it
refuse.
works.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
that's the reality with which the
So
producers
it's-
are having to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's conflict with the show. It's conflict and resolution. People don't want to see people fighting all the time. Okay, you had a fight, now you resolve things. You know what I mean? That's how we used to do the show. Because we also didn't want to have, I don't like to have fights with people. That's not my thing, right? So I don't like to go to bed angry. And it's not a good idea to go to bed angry.
Last year, Vanderpump Rules was nominated for an Emmy.
It's
Right.
crazy.
And
So was Crappy Lake was not nominated, it was considered.
Yeah.
I think if Bravo had put RHONY in its heyday forward, I really think you could have gotten the nomination.
I hate to say that season of Life is Not a Cabaret, like that, where
Yes.
everything was really heightened for everybody. That was when I finally went back and watched it. I went, oh, I get it. This is like
It was deep.
very entertaining though.
I was very entertained.
Very entertaining
That's where
as an
Sonja fell from
outsider.
the table, remember?
That's what I mean. Stuff like
Smacked her on
that.
the table,
You can't
right.
write that shit. You literally
And Dorinda
can't.
was like, loved her martini. It was like a crazy house.
How is Dorinda doing?
She's great. She's doing fantastic. Bluestone Manor is her thing.
And she's going to be filming a show,
Right.
like a sort of a Vanderpump style
right.
thing.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
for her. Dee and I spoke this morning, and we speak all the time.
Right.
Do you think perhaps you're the most successful housewife to break out of, like, how do I phrase?
Lisa Vanderpump.
No, but she's not selling tickets on tour.
That's right.
This is a career outside of Housewives.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which doesn't, again,
It's always like they're selling a liquor. It's always some sort of bullshitty thing.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of money to be made in touring and merch and things like that. I mean, you're working your ass off. You're on that bus.
I do a 2-hour show, yeah.
You got to sing, you got to perform. But this is something that could carry you through the rest of your professional career.
I know that.
Yeah.
It will. I love it. I just want to, I watched Cheetah and I was like, I love doing what I do. I love cabaret, and I watched Cheetah and the last time I saw her at 54 Below, and she just, was living her joy and enjoying herself at this age, right? Look at May.
Marilyn May.
Marilyn May. I was at her 92nd or 93rd birthday. I think it was near Boca.
She's still
and I was with
doing
Richard
it.
J. And what a joy to watch her still enjoy the stage and love what she's doing. And she's so good. She sounds amazing still.
And you know what Victoria said at some point? I said something
My
like,
daughter?
"Oh, yeah, I know she wants to do this for another, X to X amount of years, and then you can literally sail off into the sunset on some yacht in Europe and call it a day." But she was like, "Oh no, I don't think you understand. You're gonna have to drag her off the stage at like 95." She's like, "No, you don't know.
Wow.
She will be up there."
Let's hope
at
so. Let's hope
96.
so.
I mean,
Let's
you
hope so.
Still doing
you
it.
really
Let's
could.
hope
I mean,
so. You could.
if you look at these older performers, like
Yeah.
you could have 20 years at it. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dan Onardiccio will book you at the Ice Palace.
Well, that's
Marilyn
next
May
year.
2.0 right here.
We're going hopefully next year.
We're gonna make it happen. Yeah, I already. Yeah, that's happening next summer.
Next summer.
I saw Jennifer Holliday this summer, from Dreamgirls.
Yeah, of course.
I said to my friend, "Oh wait, were you there?" No, you weren't there. You were. Oh, you were there for Bernadette, which you didn't go to.
I didn't even
which is so
go.
bizarre.
What?
Okay, anyway, I can't with you. I didn't see Bernadette Peters. They were all there. They got an extra, Ben and the crew. They got an extra week to see Bernadette Peters, which he opted out of. Fine.
Oh,
But I was there
he
the
was
week.
busy with me, I guess.
No,
No, he was literally laying in the bed. He was doing nothing.
You're kidding, and you didn't see Bernadette Peters?
I've already seen her.
Oh, I see.
I kind of was like,
I have not seen her. I wish I was there.
Oh, she's
You should have
fantastic.
told me I would have taken your ticket.
You
always-
you were like, I said, we're going to 5 rounds. She goes, "Can I come?" I was like, I don't know.
I love it. Was it amazing?
Jennifer Holliday. There will never be a greater voice to grace the Ice Palace stage. I didn't really have expectations. I didn't really think about
She's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Jennifer Holliday, amazing.
Talk about cabaret.
Yeah, stories. It's all about the stories.
It's the stories about, and she tied it back into Fire Island. How the director, who directed Dreamgirls,
Michael Bennett.
yes, talking about how Michael Bennett took her to Fire Island in the 80s. I mean, he passed away due to HIV and AIDS, but the stories of how they wrote the character of Effie around her and how they wound up giving her the extra songs in the second act. She's sharp as a tack. The way she can communicate the stories, it's unbelievable.
They share a music director, Brian. He couldn't do that specific date, but Brian Nash is her music director on tour.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Brian Nash. Billy Stritch started with me in the very
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah.
So now I have Brian Nash, who I adore because, I love them both. It's all about the story. That's what cabaret is all about, really. Am I a great singer? I don't pretend to be a great singer. I love to sing, and it's like you're at my house. It's like you're not expecting me to be the greatest singer, but guess what? You want a host, you want a great story and a great joke. And then comes the song. That's what it's all about.
I always say the biggest crime you could ever commit, in my eyes, is you're not entertaining me.
Yeah.
Right.
Get off the stage.
That's
You
the
gotta
point.
fucking entertain
That's
me.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Have you ever seen my show?
Of course.
She was at the inaugural. She was at the first.
Oh,
performance
well,
of
you
the
have to
tour.
see Mary
I've
F.
se-
Kill.
I've seen you.
I
I
love that
saw
song.
the inaugural one, of course. I saw the Christmas show.
Oh, you did?
in Montclair. Roger, give me the dates one more time, baby.
Here we go. Let me just give you the cities because there are
Yeah, the cities.
so many. Charleston, South Carolina.
I'm so excited. Never been.
Yeah, I've never been either.
I know. I'm so
Montclair,
excited.
New Jersey, Huntington, New York, St. Louis. We are going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Beverly, Mass, New York, Sony Hall on November 15th. That's a biggie. It's about to sell out. Peekskill, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tampa, Florida, Royal Oak,
Pardon me,
Michigan,
boys. Is that
Toronto,
the Chattanooga Choo-choo?
Cleveland, and Cincinnati. And that's just what's been announced. So,
Right.
And then we pretty much go through.
You know what you should do? Free idea. You ready? Sit down.
Okay.
Just
I'm
thought
sitting.
Just
I'm
thought of
sitting.
this.
What's free idea?
You should perform at Aspen Gay Ski Week.
Okay, so I started day freaking one.
When's
and
that though? Please tell me January.
It's in the cold. It's in the winter.
It's the gay ski week. so-
January though, because February we're in London.
But my MO day one, I was very confused, to be honest. I said, I don't understand why you are not headlining every single gay pride all across the country / the world. They happen year round. They're not all in June. And I was like, I don't get why that's not the priority. So we've switched. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're
But
doing
that's
it.
another one.
New
to add to
agents,
the list.
IAG, who they're great.
Yeah.
We're doing Mardi Gras in Sydney.
Yeah,
That
that's
doing.
not out there, but
It's not out there
wink,
yet.
wink. Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah.
You could do Decadence in New Orleans.
Oh, let's write it down
no,
for.
You just did. So that's the.
No, I
No,
didn't
but
just.
Decadence this could be for next September.
Yeah.
You could get booked at Jazz Fest, which is in April.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge fest.
Yeah, but am I too late for April? No,
no,
for
they're
next year.
they're accepting.
No, we're
Right.
still ironing out. April,
Okay, let's
so.
write
Yeah.
that down. I love it, Jess. Thank you.
What else? What
What else
other-
could I do that you know?
Yeah, there was stuff where I was like, how's no one thought about this? Who
I
said
know.
this to you?
Why don't we
Huge.
start with Aspen Gay Ski Week?
Yeah.
Jazz Fest.
I like the Aspen gay ski.
Oh
and
my
and guess
God,
what?
Idaho.
I'm a helicopter skier. I lived in Switzerland, darling. I can ski like a demon.
Yeah.
I'm a skier. You better
Wait,
be.
did you ski like Black Diamonds and Moguls?
No, I ski in a helicopter.
What does that mean?
That means you go skiing in a helicopter. You get dropped off from the mountains with a powder.
Yeah.
There's no tracks. There's
With
no
the
slope.
skis on.
With guides. With ski guides.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends are very rich so in those days.
Crazy.
Only you and the mountain goats. And God.
You know.
That's true.
This has been a blast.
It
I feel
has.
like we've all learned a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
love-
would you
love-
diet?
Beatrice?
I mean, I love the story about
Beatrice.
Beatrice. I cannot believe you put your head on the pillow at the Grove Hotel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do that.
Well,
Really? Oh, shit.
the unsa. Oh
Do
my
I have
God.
crabs?
You may. Wow, you stayed at the Madison. That's where
Yeah.
I stay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun if we did a share with Ben for 1 week next year?
So they want to put her up in a house. We met a bunch of people who were
Well,
like,
and
house
so
whenever
they
you want
should.
it.
When
Whenever
I
you want
used
it.
to go, remember the German Eric who used to run all.
Eric Kirschneider, yes.
That's right. He used to hire me, and it was a big payday, and I had a home of my own with a pool on the water. I'm
I
like,
said
you know,
we're gonna
times
go
are
back
tough.
A longer stay.
Times are tough.
Put a bunch of gigs in there. Do a bunch
Yeah.
of things.
No, I love Fire Island, and it's close to my home, so it's
so
perfect.
fun. Oh my God.
Close to home. I like to be close to home.
Roger, any final thoughts?
I will say.
I have final thoughts for you.
Oh,
Becca.
Oh,
what is that?
okay.
Lay it on me.
Congratulations, darling, for working with me. Because guess what? When he first started, well, first of all, he calls Richard J. Alexander, my director. He goes, "What is it like? What's the job like?" And he goes, "What did he say to you?"
I knew. I called about 6 people. I called Ben.
You
I called Richard
six
J.
people.
I went through the list.
What's it
'cause I
like
was
to work with Luann? Because listen, people think the Countess is like this stuck-up, crazy. I'm not crazy, but stuck-up kind of aristo who's unapproachable. That couldn't be further from the truth, as Roger knows.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a compliment for me or what?
Oh, you know what I was going to say? The most surprising thing you were going to ask about just all of this?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
amount that we eat. We eat. We eat. That's the most surprising
I was talking about
thing,
being
I
down
think.
to earth and being
Oh, well, that.
easy to work with. That's what I was talking
are,
about. Well,
please.
that's what I'm talking
No,
about.
this is like my
He
mother.
goes, how much we like to eat.
We do.
What do you do for food in Fire Island? What did you do?
The canteen
It's
like
rough.
3 times. The
What?
sandcastle.
No.
You ate at Sandcastle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. And I must say, there's more options over in Cherry Grove.
Bistro sandcastle.
It was very good. We had a
Yeah.
great time.
We had some
Did
good
anybody
food.
take you to Top of the Bay?
We
What's
didn't
Top
end
of
up
the
going
Bay?
to Top of
It's
the Bay.
another restaurant.
They
chain.
couldn't seat us. I'll say that.
Are you fucking
No,
kidding?
no, they could, but we went with the first option because we wanted to eat earlier.
We were just hungrier. Yeah, it was that,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So, yeah.
I
No,
love
I've
it.
still never been to Top of the Bay.
Nice ambiance.
Yeah.
You would like it.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I would.
Overlooks
Is it-
the water.
Is it chic, c'est la vie?
It is. Good wine. Good wine list.
Oh, nice. I love a good wine.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we did it, right?
Ladies and
This is
gentlemen,
the Countess
this is
This
the
is the
Countess. you didn't even know what you did, Jess.
You walked
Ladies and gentlemen.
Landmine.
Okay, wait, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Countess speaking. We have arrived.
At hot takes.
That's fine.
And deep dives.
This
Are
has
you
been
trying
a
to
blast.
imitate me?
No. When we met, her intro to me was, "Can I have one of your fries?" And I said yes. And thus,
Where did that take place? Where was that meeting?
54 Below, the like family meal before a show. They give everybody kind of what it's lovely. I will say they take great care of you.
Yeah.
But I remember just getting an order of fries because Madison and whoever else were like, "Get whatever you want." So I got fries, and you got whatever you had. And can I have one of your fries?
Well, listen, I love 54 Below. They gave me my start in cabaret.
They're the
so
best.
I'll always be grateful for that.
No. That's how we met. How we all kind of came together, I guess. Yeah.
All right, kids.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks,
you.
Jess.